Hey everyone, it's Anya. I was not quite sure if I was going to share this with you or not, but I decided in the end that I would. And again, like my altar, like my main altar, this is something that is in the middle of my living room. So, you know, technically speaking, anyone who comes around to my flat is going to see this. So there's no particular reason why I should, you know, try to keep it completely private or anything. And I don't feel the need to do that anyway. Basically, this is a new kind of mini altar that I've set up for the deity Ganesha. Now, I actually don't know a huge amount about this deity, and I haven't had the time yet to do an awful lot of reading about him. And that might sound a bit strange that, you know, if I'm interested in a deity and I haven't got the time to find out more about them, then why would I go ahead and make an altar for them? But I kind of decided that, seeing as I had been feeling really drawn to working with them and setting up an altar for him, I thought, well, hey, I'll take this opportunity to sort of get to grips with what my own intuitive kind of feelings are on this deity, what I understand this archetype to be for me, before I kind of go about finding out what his, you know, reading more about his mythologies and what he's generally actually understood to be. So, I mean, I have a basic working knowledge of what he is all about. And things like the idea that he is the remover of obstacles and a deity of wisdom and learning and the arts and things like that are very kind of relevant for me at the moment in my life and just in general as well. He's also associated with the beginning, so I feel like in general Ganesha is kind of representative for me right now for my spiritual journey to an extent. For the academic side, I'm doing an awful lot of reading and thinking and writing related to my spirituality and also just about, I suppose, about life in general, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with myself career-wise and that kind of thing, and in terms of my writing. So he definitely seems like a very relevant deity for me right now. Apologies if you can hear a very slight ticking sound in this video. It's my wonderful gaudy Maneki Neko might be, if you listen really closely you can hear him ticking, so I hope that's not coming through on the video. On the shelves on either side of this shelf I keep some of my tea things and some of my herbs and stuff like that. So my feeling drawn to Ganesha kind of stems from a long-standing importance that the symbol of the elephant has had in my life. I've mentioned before the statue that I inherited from my grandparents, which is actually an elephant, and that's over on my main altar. You can see that in my video on my altar. But actually when I was quite young, and I think I actually picked up the first elephant statue before I actually inherited the one from my grandparents, and maybe this was because I liked that one so much in my grandparents' house. Maybe that's why I initially picked this up. But sorry about the sorry about the wavy video, the bumpy video here. I'm trying to hold my camera in one hand. It's quite a big, heavy camera. This elephant here I picked up in the Bangkok airport. We were flying through when I was 8 years old. We had been supposed to fly the other direction. We went to Australia for 4 weeks and New Zealand for 2 weeks when I was 8 years old, and we were supposed to fly via the States, but we actually ended up missing our flight and we had to fly the other way. So we just stopped down in Bangkok and we didn't even leave the airport, but I just spotted that elephant and I really loved it, so I bought it. The little ivory elephant beside it there, and I do think it is, it's not very focused, I do think it is made out of ivory, so if I saw it today I mightn't actually buy it because I would be unsure about that. But I picked it up in a second-hand shop, so I'm a little bit more comfortable about that because at least, you know, it was already out there on the market and I was just giving it a new home. I picked that up, and I can't remember if this was before or after my grandparents' death. It was around that time when I was about 10 years old. I have a feeling it was the second that I added to my collection, and then that the elephant that I got from my grandparents was the third. So I kind of have these three elephants. I've had them since I was a child, and they've been kind of central to my the kind of decorative pieces that I've had growing up. And I suppose I hadn't really thought about them that much for many years, but then in recent times, as I've been kind of getting back into spirituality and that kind of thing, the symbol of the elephant has been becoming important for me again. And I mentioned in my altar video that I decided to add the figurine, the elephant figurine that I got from my grandparents, to my altar, to my permanent altar. And because for me, Ganesha, not only does he represent all of those things that I mentioned, but he's also come to represent kind of inherited memory and ancestral memory and that kind of thing. For various reasons, but mostly because I associate the elephant with my grandparents and with that sort of immediate ancestral history and memory. So those are the two elephants on the altar. The statue in the centre, the Ganesha statue, is relatively new. It was the second Ganesha statue that I actually picked up, and I mean, I wasn't even sure why I kept picking these up. I really didn't need another statue, but I got it anyway. So that was kind of when I decided to go ahead and make an altar. I've been meditating on him a bit in recent times, and I was called to make this altar for him after my most recent meditation. The image on the left in the frame, I don't want to go into too much detail about that because that's quite personal, but the photograph itself is something that is a photograph I took in Kerry, which is a trip that I discuss actually. I have a video on it. The key here is actually a necklace. Again, now that's not really in focus. But the key for me is a central symbol of Ganesha for me, and to do with that sort of removal of obstacles kind of train of thought with him. And it's a major symbol that came up for me while meditating. The stone is a green aventurine. You know those words that you've never said out loud and you're not exactly sure how to pronounce them? That's one of them. I think it's aventurine. Maybe it depends on whether you're from the UK or Ireland or from the States. I couldn't tell you exactly why I decided to choose to use this stone, but it just seemed right for some reason for me, so I went with it. And the image in the background is one that I came across. Originally, actually, it was on the Eclectic Tarot forum. Somebody posted it as an image that they saw and they just thought it was a perfect image to represent the hermit. And I absolutely loved it. So I printed that off and put that there too. The lantern in the background then is sort of to also go along with that theme of Ganesha as sort of lighting the way, you know, removing the obstacles, leading you to greater learning and wisdom. And also for practical reasons, because this is an enclosed shelf, I thought that maybe an open flame wasn't the best idea, and that having it in a lantern like that might yeah, make it a little bit safer. So those are all the individual pieces. I mentioned the Hermit card there. I do sort of associate Ganesha with the Hermit, but mostly I associate him with the Hierophant. For obvious reasons, I suppose, but I have very positive associations with the Hierophant card. I don't have those sort of negative, kind of associated with Christianity, kind of hierarchy, kind of negative associations with him at all. It's a card that I actually really like. And I may add tarot cards to this altar at some point. Okay, so I feel like I've rambled on long enough now. I just wanted to show this to you, give you an idea of what I've been doing most recently with my spirituality, and yeah, just share it with you. Much love, guys. Talk to you soon.